Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time, the disappearance of the USS Cyclops. Imagine a massive naval ship, longer than a football field, packed with over 300 souls, vanishing without a single trace. No SOS, no wreckage, no survivors. It's a story that has baffled investigators for over a century, a true enigma of the sea. In March 1918, during the height of World War I, the USS Cyclops, a colossal collier ship, was on a routine voyage. Its mission was to transport a heavy cargo of manganese ore from Brazil to Baltimore. But somewhere between Barbados and the American coast, the ship and its 306 crew and passengers simply ceased to exist. It was one of the single largest non-combat losses of life in U.S. Navy history, and it happened in an area that would later become infamous: the Bermuda Triangle. Let's set the scene. The USS Cyclops was a true giant of its time. Launched in 1910, it was one of 4 Proteus-class colliers, designed to refuel other naval vessels. She was over 540 feet long and was a critical part of the naval supply chain. Her commander was Lieutenant Commander George W. Worley, an experienced but reportedly eccentric captain. Some described him as a tyrant, known for walking the decks in his long underwear and a bowler hat. His leadership style created a tense atmosphere on board, with reports of crew conflicts and low morale. This detail might seem small, but it adds another layer of complexity to the unfolding mystery. Was there trouble brewing on the ship itself? The final voyage began in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The Cyclops was loaded down with 10,800 long tons of manganese ore, a substance crucial for steel production during the war. The ship was already experiencing engine trouble. One of its 2 engines had cracked a cylinder and was out of commission, meaning the Cyclops was running on just one engine. Despite this, Commander Worley decided to press on, making an unscheduled stop in Barbados for supplies. On March 4, 1918, the USS Cyclops departed from Barbados. The weather was fair, and the sea was calm. A final message reported all's well. After that, complete and utter silence. The ship was expected to arrive in Baltimore on March 13th. When it failed to appear, initial concern grew into a full-blown naval search. But the search parties found nothing. No debris, no lifeboats, not even an oil slick. It was as if the 19,000-ton behemoth had been plucked from the surface of the ocean. So, what happened? The U.S. Navy officially stated that the disappearance of this ship has been one of the most baffling mysteries in the annals of the Navy. Without any physical evidence, all we're left with are theories. And the theories range from the plausible to the paranormal. Let's start with the most logical explanations. The first and perhaps most widely accepted is that a rogue wave, a sudden and massive wave that can appear without warning, capsized the ship. The Cyclops was heavily laden with its manganese cargo. If this cargo shifted suddenly during a violent roll, it could have thrown the ship off balance, causing it to capsize and sink so rapidly that there was no time to send a distress signal. Manganese ore, when wet, can also liquefy, behaving like a liquid and sloshing around, further destabilizing the vessel. Given its one-engine operation and top-heavy design, this is a very compelling scenario. Another natural disaster theory involves the weather. While reports indicated calm seas when it left Barbados, the Atlantic is notoriously unpredictable. A sudden violent storm or nor'easter could have overwhelmed the underpowered ship. With one engine down, the Cyclops would have struggled to navigate through hurricane-force winds and monstrous waves, potentially breaking apart under the immense stress. The lack of wreckage is still puzzling, but a catastrophic structural failure could send a ship to the bottom in minutes. Now we move into the realm of human conflict. Remember, this was 1918. World War I was raging. The initial suspicion was that a German submarine, a U-boat, had sunk the Cyclops. German naval records, however, were meticulously kept. After the war, when these records were examined, there was no mention of any U-boat activity in that specific area at that time. The Germans had no record of sinking the Cyclops, and they certainly would have claimed such a significant victory if they had. This leads to another theory involving the ship's commander, George Worley. Remember his eccentric behavior? He was actually born Johann Friedrich Wichmann in Germany and had changed his name. This led to post-war speculation. Was Worley a secret German sympathizer? Did he conspire with the crew to hand the ship over to the enemy or scuttle it as an act of sabotage? Some even suggested he had a pro-German crew who staged a mutiny. While intriguing, there's no solid evidence to support this. It remains a tantalizing what-if in the story. Then there's the cargo itself. Manganese ore is not typically explosive. However, some have theorized that the ore, combined with water and other elements in the hold, could have created a volatile mixture. A spontaneous explosion in the cargo hold could have ripped the ship apart instantly, explaining the lack of an SOS call and the complete absence of wreckage. This theory posits a sudden, catastrophic event that left no time for reaction. Of course, no discussion of the USS Cyclops is complete without venturing into the strange and unexplained. Its disappearance is a cornerstone of the Bermuda Triangle legend. This infamous patch of the Atlantic Ocean is notorious for stories of ships and planes vanishing under mysterious circumstances. Proponents of the Bermuda Triangle theory suggest that unknown, perhaps paranormal or even extraterrestrial forces, are at play. Could some kind of magnetic anomaly have disabled the ship's navigation and communication systems, leaving it lost and adrift? Or did it encounter a spatial or temporal rift, a so-called electronic fog, that has been reported by other pilots and mariners in the area? These ideas are fascinating to consider, but they exist purely in the realm of speculation. There is no scientific evidence to support them, yet they persist because the conventional explanations still leave so many questions unanswered. Why was there not a single piece of floating debris? Why were none of the 306 people on board ever found? The legacy of the USS Cyclops is a haunting one. It's not just the loss of the ship, but the complete void of information that makes it so chilling. The story doesn't end there either. In a bizarre and eerie twist of fate, two of the Cyclops' sister ships, the Proteus and the Nereus, also vanished along similar routes during World War II. They too were carrying heavy metallic ore, and they too disappeared without a trace, without a distress signal. The fourth sister ship, the Jupiter, was converted into the U.S. Navy's first-ever aircraft carrier, the USS Langley, and was later sunk by enemy action in 1942. The fact that 3 out of the 4 sister ships met such mysterious ends at sea adds another layer of high strangeness to the saga. Was there a fundamental design flaw in these ships that made them uniquely vulnerable to certain conditions? Today, the 306 men aboard the USS Cyclops are memorialized at the Suresnes American Cemetery and Memorial in France, their names inscribed on the tablets of the missing. They are a silent testament to a tragedy that has no final chapter. The ocean holds its secrets tightly, and the fate of the USS Cyclops remains one of its deepest. Will we ever know what truly happened? With modern deep-sea exploration technology, it's possible that the wreck of the Cyclops could one day be found. If it is, it might finally provide the answers we've been seeking for over a century. It could reveal evidence of a structural failure, an explosion, or something else entirely. Until that day, the USS Cyclops will continue to drift in the realm of mystery, a ghost ship sailing through the pages of history. Its story a chilling reminder of the power and mystery of the sea.